It's time to play the music. It's time to light the lights. Yes. Welcome back to Skepticism. The Muppet Show apparently is making a comeback. What amazing news. Long overdue as well. I'm a massive Muppets fan, as you can probably tell from my excitement of this announcement. Disney have been sitting on this IP, in my opinion, for far too long, not doing anything of note or anything quality with it. That's not to say that this will be either, but nevertheless, I've opened up the website Empire here. Seth Rogen is apparently one of the brains behind it, is bringing back the Muppet Show for a 2026 special, and Sabrina Carpenter is already signed on apparently to guest star. It's time to play the music, it's time to light the lights. Yes, it's time to get seriously excited about the Muppet Show tonight. Well, this morning. Yes, 2 years after the Muppets Mayhem, which was very average, hit Disney Plus. 11 years after Muppets Most Wanted, which again was very average, landed in cinemas, and a mammoth 44 years since the curtains closed on the original Muppet Show. The studio's duo, Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, they've been collaborating for years on all the Seth Rogen comedies pretty much. Masterminding their most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Muppetational heroes' long overdue return to the Muppet Theatre, and they're bringing out the big guns for their comeback. Check out Disney's surprise revival announcement below. And Disney have already confirmed this. This isn't rumours. This is out of the blue. I haven't heard a thing about this, so this is completely surprising. I was literally watching the Muppets trying to get my daughter into it, to be honest, and a few weeks ago. So this is great news. Okay. Before we start gadding about our arms flinging around, Kermit style, let's take a moment to clarify what's happening, what we know, and what it might mean for the Muppets' on-screen future. So, to celebrate Muppets' 50th anniversary next year, man-child singer Sabrina Carpenter is set to star alongside Kermit the Frog, Miss Piggy, Fozzie Bear, Gonzo and the rest of the gang, played noteworthy by long-standing puppeteers Bill Barretta, Dave Goelz, Eric Jacobson, Peter Linz, David Rudman and Matt Vogel. No Frank Oz though. In a one-off revival of the OG variety format, directed by Alex Timbers and written by Albertina Rizzo, who I've not heard of those, to be honest. The hope, and at this stage is very much a hope, for the Rogen, Goldberg and their Point Grey Pictures collaborators is that this special may spark a full-blown return for the Muppet Show as it ever was. This is a great idea. If done right, obviously, but it's a great idea. It's long overdue. Now, Muppet stands should probably treat today's exciting news with a smidge of caution. Since Disney took over the Muppets in 2004, the studio has struggled a little, knowing exactly how to handle the once pop culture juggernauts. 2011's The Muppets and its 2014 sequel both carried promise but lacked momentum pushing them, whilst 2015's The Office-style mockumentary series called The Muppets, which wasn't good, it was cancelled after a single season due to less than encouraging viewing figures, despite actually being pretty decent. I disagree with that. And the less said about The Muppets Now and Muppets Haunted Mansion, which, again, not great representation of the Muppets. 2011's The Muppets. Don't sleep on that film. That is it. For anyone who enjoyed The Muppets growing up, I urge you to rewatch that, because that Jason Segel was the guy behind it. I think for the most part, he nailed it. Obviously, they were trading on nostalgia a little bit with it, but nailed it, and that was a great platform to build on that they squandered. They didn't do it, which it was incredibly frustrating, and still is, to be honest. But this is amazing news. I hope it comes to fruition. Still, despite their mixed status on screen in the 21st century, the Muppets remain a cultural force to be reckoned with, and there is an undeniable affection for the fuzzy fellas and gals out there just waiting for something to be channeled into. If anyone can get things started again, then surely it's the guys behind the studio, which has gone down really well with audiences and critics as well. That show on Apple, I haven't caught it. I've heard it's really good, so I'm not going to pretend to be like, oh, it's amazing, but yeah. We'll find out if the Muppet Show revival ain't half bad, or if it's all bad sometime in 2026. Watch this space. It's interesting, because we're a few weeks out from the announcement that Disney made that they were rebranding the Aerosmith roller coaster in Disney World. I don't know if it's worldwide or if it's just in Florida, but that's getting a Muppet reskin. They closed down the Muppets 3D spectacular Muppet Vision. I was going to say ride. It's more a show, which was incredibly, that bummed me out when that happened. Now that they've announced, they're rebranding that ride, Aerosmith ride, which, I'm not gonna doggone Aerosmith, but yeah, the Muppets. That's a good switch. And now this, I would imagine the backlash they got from that, or the response, probably sent a little message to them saying, oh, there is still a lot of interest in the Muppets. And like I said, the Haunted Mansion thing and Muppets Now, Disney's dipped their toe in the water a little bit with the Muppets over the years, not given it to anyone of note that could do anything creative with it other than just put them on screen and try and write them jokes. Some would argue probably that's all you need to do, but the jokes haven't been great. So there you go. You give it to someone who can actually do the Muppets justice, like Jason Segel, for example, who is, I would imagine, on good terms with Seth Rogen. They were in sort of leagues with each other back in the day with the Knocked Up crew and the sort of Judd Apatow crew. So it's interesting that this Muppets revival, and that's the end of the article, so there you go. So it is interesting that this sort of Muppet revival, should we say, is coming around in the year of our Lord 2025. Again, it's about what they do with it, and Disney sit on a lot of IP, even more now they've purchased Fox, and they don't do a lot with it. So for me, in this day and age where they need to make money for obvious reasons, that you would try and make something of the Muppets. You're sitting, I think, just to take myself out of it for a second as a biased Muppets fan, what Disney's market value is trading in family entertainment. And what is it they haven't been providing a great deal of over the last few years of note? Quality family entertainment. I think this is very timely. I think this is perfect, if done right, obviously. But I think Seth Rogen blows hot and cold with me in terms of comedic value, and I haven't seen him do much family entertainment. I can't think of anything he's done that would be deemed family entertainment, but nevertheless, I think Jason Segel, who's known for, like I said, being one of those Knocked Up crew back in the day, if he was able to do it with the Muppets 2011, that should have been the springboard for something better, or a consistent presence. And I think the Muppets is a great. Jim Henson, his legacy is phenomenal. There's a brilliant documentary about him on Disney Plus. I would urge anyone who hasn't seen it to go and see it. It's really beautifully done. Sort of really, I mean, that's the television that I grew up on when I was a kid, and not to say I'm perfect, but I think it's the kind of thing I would want children to be engaged with. Moral lessons, right and wrong, all this other stuff, and being hilarious and entertaining and funny. That's the recipe. It's not hard, and I think hopefully they nail this. I'm glad to see the Muppets coming back, because they're, just from a personal point of view, amazing characters, I think, and I'm really happy that they're coming back for a new generation. I hate that phrase, but that's what they need to do. But anyway, Sabrina Carpenter, she's a big deal. I'm not going to mention too much about her because I don't know any of her music, but I hear she's a big deal. So much so the TV tells me every time I switch it on, because she's on everything. So there you go. But this is great news. Well done, Disney. This is a good thing. Thank you very much. What do you think? Are you excited? Do you not care? Are you anticipating the return of the Muppets imminently to our TV screens? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you very much for listening. Please leave a like and subscribe. I can never say that word. Subscribe on the channel. That really helps the growth. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.